Camping with a group shouldn't feel like a game of Tetris where you're all sleeping on top of each other. If you try to squeeze 6 people into a 6-person tent, you usually end up miserable. I wanted to see which tents actually offer room to breathe and keep the rain out, so I bought and tested the top 5 6-person tents on the market. I'm going to break down which one is a nightmare to set up, and which one is like a portable castle. Product number 1, Vitilido 6-8-person camping tent. Starting with the Vitilido, the first thing I noticed when I unpacked it was the sheer weight of the poles. They aren't those flimsy fiberglass sticks that snap in the wind, these are heavy-duty and feel reinforced. Setting it up took a bit of time because of the unique shape, but once it was up, it looked more like a small cabin than a tent. The coolest part during testing was the 2-room layout. I hung the partition curtain, and suddenly I had a private bedroom and a separate living area, which is a lifesaver if you're camping with kids or another couple. The ventilation is excellent thanks to the mesh windows, so it didn't feel stuffy inside even on a warm afternoon. If you want a tent that feels like a semi-permanent structure with privacy, this is the one to grab. Product number 2, Coleman Sundome WeatherTech Focus. Next, I set up the classic Coleman Sundome. Holding the fabric, it feels familiar. It's that standard tent material we all know, but Coleman uses this WeatherTech system with welded corners. I tested this by hosing it down in the backyard, and the tub-style floor actually did its job. The water pooled underneath but didn't seep through the bottom seams, which is usually the failure point for cheap tents. It claims a 10-minute setup, and honestly, I beat that time. It's super intuitive. However, fitting 6 actual adults in here is a squeeze. It's more like 4 adults comfortably. But for the price, the weatherproofing is surprising. If you are on a strict budget but need to ensure you don't wake up in a puddle during a surprise rainstorm, this is the safest entry-level pick. Product number 3, Cloud Camp Inflatable Tent. Then I tried the Cloud Camp, and this was the most fun to set up. I laid it out, attached the pump, and literally just watched it stand up on its own. There are no metal poles to thread or break. When I touched the fabric, I noticed it was a thick 210D Oxford cloth. It feels much more like a canvas glamping tent than a standard hiking tent. Inside, the vertical walls give you way more headroom than a dome. I could stand up straight in the corners, not just the center. It's heavy to carry, so you aren't hiking with this, but for car camping, it's luxurious. If you hate struggling with poles and want that high-end, glamping vibe with massive interior space, this inflatable option is incredible. Product number 4, Coleman Sundome Space and Ventilation Focus. I wanted to circle back to the Coleman Sundome because there is a reason you see this tent at every campground. While I talked about the waterproofing earlier, what I noticed during an overnight test was the ventilation. The rainfly doesn't go all the way to the ground, which allows a lot of air to circulate through the large mesh windows. I didn't wake up with that gross condensation dripping on my face, which happens a lot in fully enclosed tents. It fits 2 queen air mattresses, but barely. You'll have 0 floor space left for gear. It's simple, effective, and durable enough for weekend warriors. If you just want a no-nonsense tent that has stood the test of time and keeps the air flowing, stick with this classic. Product number 5, Coleman Sundome Darkroom. Finally, I tested the Coleman Sundome Darkroom Edition. Setting this up feels exactly like the regular Sundome, but the fabric is totally different. When I crawled inside during the middle of the day, it was pitch black. It claims to block 90% of sunlight, and it really works. It felt noticeably cooler inside than the standard green version I tested earlier. This is a massive benefit if you like to sleep in past sunrise or if you have kids who need to nap during the day. It has the same reliable WeatherTech floors, so it stays dry, but that blackout fabric is the real selling point. If you are a light sleeper or hate waking up in a sauna at 7 a.m., this upgrade is worth every extra penny. So if you want luxury and privacy, go for the Vitilido or the inflatable Cloud Camp. If you just need a reliable, budget-friendly shelter, the classic Coleman Sundome or the dark room version for better sleep is the way to go. I've dropped links to all 5 in the description below so you can check the current prices. Thanks for watching and happy camping.